Yep, though, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Faxtz Life, the podcast. You're rocking with the homie Deve. Um, I had to get a little more comfortable, I ain't gonna lie, since I thought about it. I'm like, wait, we about to do these questions and ask these questions and these things about me. So I just slip into something a little more comfortable. Part of my leg, I really had to get comfortable, y'all. So part of me got the little hoochie daddies on and all that, but I had to get comfortable because it's like I just want to be real and be able to be comfortable in my flesh and my skin while I talk to y'all and give y'all some real shit. And I got the questions and all of that and everything that everybody been asking, talking about all that good shit. But this is like I said, I'm a little nervous. This is my first time doing it, um, like this and just like by myself and like But we fuck it like we always do. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna light my blunt to this because today's topic is ending toxic behaviors and ways. And the reason why I labeled it as that and I'm saying that is because like I feel like a lot of the times when I'm doing these I like to get the original transparencies from other people like right at that moment when I ask them that question and things like that. So I felt like it's only right if I'm gonna for real be real with y'all and be transparent with y'all, I'm gonna have to talk about some shit that I'm really been that I've dealt with, that I've gone through, like you know what I mean, that I've experienced, so to say. So it's like, why not be real? You feel me? So that's why we're gonna start there. Let me just check and make sure this joint is still going. Cause I'll be having technical difficulties. Oh, we still lit, we still live. Um, pardon self, but I just had to check that because I ain't gonna hold y'all. This is how real it is. Like I'm just like I'm a young entrepreneur trying to make my way. You feel me? Either y'all fuck with me or you don't. Nah, but for real, like um, but yeah, so it's like I just felt like that's the only right thing to do is to do a topic like that and say that, like, because it's like how else can I be real with y'all and like go through some of the questions that like I've been being asked and things like that. Like I always make sure I jot them down, write them down. Um, so one of the things, like, let's get into one of the things is like you gotta accept accountability and be aware of and be like, yeah, like if you're a toxic motherfucker, you gotta be like, in order to stop being a toxic motherfucker or a toxic person, part of my language, like you have to be real with yourself and accept accountability and know that like you're toxic and you have to not want to be toxic no more. You don't just like um just stop being toxic, but it's like also what is toxic, because some people just be saying it and it's like part of self is like, do y'all know what it means? Like, I mean, obviously I hope you do because the way that it's being used, but it's like understand that it is like the definition when you look it up, it says poisonous and or a poisonous substances. So that's like a lot of things could be substances. You know what I mean? Like we put a lot of poisonous things, and we even when we start thinking and have our creative thoughts and things like that. So it's like for me to start getting through my process of all of this and like understanding like how to even begin to end my toxic ways and my toxic behaviors was I had to identify them and become real with them and like really sit in them and just like look at myself, like and like I'm learning to step out of like I say learning because it's still something that I'm. It's not like this isn't a overnight or as soon as I'm saying the type deal where it just clicked. Like this isn't anything like that. It's just saying like this is something that you go through. So it's like even still what I'm learning now is like when I'm analyzing it, don't judge myself. Look at it from a different perspective and like like part of stuff like don't necessarily judge myself when I'm analyzing myself, or I guess people call it critiquing or whatever it is. But don't judge it. Like just look at it and be real. Like you know what I mean. Be real with yourself because it's like that's the only person that you got to impress and to make anything for anyway. So it's like I throughout my journey of going in my toxic ways, I learned the more toxic that I was, the more toxic things started happening, the more different things started occurring for me, the more things started, all I was around is toxic situations. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's funny when you start clearing out and cleaning up your toxic ways, those toxic things start disappearing. It's the craziest thing, but it's like that's how it works. Um, so with that being said, it's like one of the things that I've been learning and understanding is we are creators of our story. First things foremost. So we are the creators of our story. Like that even sound powerful, right? Like when you listen to that, we are the creators of our story. Like that itself sounds like, whoa, wait, what? Oh yeah. But it's like that's the truth. Like every day when we awake or whatever you want to call it, like when we rise, like you get a new one. Every day you get a new day to be the best you, the best, be great, whatever that is for you. And that's the thing, it doesn't have to look like whatever other people want it to look like. It's whatever you want it to look like. So that's what I had to start learning is like, yo, a lot of my toxic ways was pushing things onto people from how I felt about myself. Like if I wasn't satisfied, happy with myself, I try to make people feel as though that they had to be wanting to do this or like they like you, if that makes sense. Like it's like you really got to accept accountability and realize where like you as a toxic person was going wrong. Like you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, cool. Like so I understand that and I'm getting that now and it's like I'm learning that now, but it's like that's how that shit is. Like, you know. Somebody asked, have I ever been toxic? I guess I kinda answered that already. But yes, I've been toxic a lot of times. A lot. A lot. In relationships and outside of relationships, like you know, like just toxic when I say toxic behavior, it's not this isn't just talking about relationships. Like I'm literally talking about having your mental and thinking of the most toxic shit and acting on that toxic shit. Like you know what I mean? Like it's like you have the control of this thing right here and you don't have to be toxic if you don't want to be toxic. Like it's literally as simple as I'm saying it is as simple as it sounds and is as simple as it is. It's just like you gotta keep wanting to be pure and being positive. And it's like, does that shit get hard? Hell yeah, that shit get hard. That shit get harder than a motherfucker. You feel me? And it's like the more you keep wanting to do it, the harder it gets. Like the more you keep wanting to challenge yourself with, the harder it gets. And I say that it's only that I feel like it gets harder because it's something that I never did before. Like I feel like a lot of times I wanted to be like so negative, like and have those negative thoughts and do like you know be a negative person, like you know, and it give off that negative aura, like you know what I mean. But you ain't gotta be that way. Like you can end you can end that shit, and it's no matter even what people do to you. Like or some because some people like, well, I've been through. That's excuses and justifications for you to continue to be a lousy piece of shit that you're being. I like saying that lousy piece of shit, but no, but for real, like it's just like that's real facts. Like it's not that's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's like pause on the play. Like you ain't bullshitting nobody but your damn self. It's like stop bullshitting yourself, and it's like again, that's who you gotta please is yourself. So why are you not pleasing yourself? Why are you lying to yourself? If you're gonna lie to yourself, you're gonna lie to any and everybody else. So why keep lying to yourself? And it's like throughout my process and my journey, like that's what I'm learning is like I'm okay with me. So if I'm okay with me, then I'm gonna move in purity. Like because I'm not gonna be pushing off of my negative feelings and negative ways onto other people because I'm being positive. You know what I mean? So it's like even when people do fucked up shit to you, it's like, yo, you you really take that shit on the chin. Like you feel me? Like you gotta take that shit on the chin because it's like it everything come around. It's like a boomerang. You got good karma, you got bad karma. You pick which karma you like to dance with. That's how I say to it. You know what I mean? But another question was, did I know I was being toxic during or after? To be honest with you all, and on some real shit. A lot of the times, yes, I knew exactly that I was being toxic. I loved it. Like I used to literally be like a spokesperson for fucking toxicity. Like I was like, nah. Like when my friends were telling me about the relationship, I'm like, you ain't got enough toxic in it. Add a little more toxic. Like you know, it's just like that was like the spokesperson for toxic. Like that's how it used to be. Like that's how it really used to be. So it's more so me thinking now after it's just like it's more of accepting the accountability of of what I created because of my toxic ways, if that makes sense. Like, so it's like, it's saying like, I'm learning and I'm understanding that all of everything that I go through, no matter what it is, whether it's the best of the best or the worst of the worst, I created that. So it's like, that was my doing. So it's like, I have the power to continue on with that crazy shit or stop it. So it's like, duh, I want to stop it, I'm going to stop it. But it's like, not duh at the same time, because you have that conflict. You're like, well, I don't want to. So it's like, you just got to pick your poison. You get what I'm saying? Pick your toxic. That was no pun intended. It just happened like that. But nah, for real, it's like, it's a lot of times I really was so like, I always tell people I was evil. Like, I was evil. I was evil. I was an evil person. My spirit was evil. You know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like it's because you're like, when you're not, like what I was saying prior, um, is being conscious of your thoughts and what you're doing and what you're thinking, like being aware of what it is that you're saying, doing, um, and how you're being, like, you know what I mean? Being aware of being, um, and like I always tell you, I'm not a pro. I'm not no expert. I'm just telling you what the hell I feel and how I'm doing. You know what I mean? But um, but that's how that works. But give me a moment. Let me grab something to drink because I forgot my water. Put it so. And another thing I've been doing, I haven't been drinking, so I've got this little thing. Shout out to whatever these people thing is, but I don't know what it is, and we ain't even gonna have to advertise it, so that's perfect. Um, it would have been for free anyway, so y'all good. But but yeah, so it's like, it's more of, I guess, acknowledging the fact that you are, and you know that you toxic. Like, if you know you toxic, you know you toxic. Like, um and I guess some people, and I don't want to be that way. That's why I do like having moments where I'm talking with other people, and maybe we'll get other people's opinions on these, and other people's thoughts and views and shit like that. But because it's like, I like to see how it ping pongs and things like that. That's why I do it like that. Um, and that's like, oh, one of the last questions was, what do I think toxic mean for me? And toxic mean for me exactly what it means: is poisonous, and or is poisonous substances. Like, it's just bad. It means horrible. Um, but a lot of times, and it's weird. Like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I feel like, as the generations are growing and getting older, or whatever, as they, not, maybe not that they're getting old, but as the generations are going, it's like, excuse me, being toxic is the new thing to do. It's like the new way to do relationships, the new way to be, and everything like that. And it's like, nah, like, no, that is not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I can remember. I'll tell you, I was the spokesperson for toxicity, and it's like I, like, for real. I help. I listen. I was the one creating some of the foundation for toxicity's universities. You feel me? So it's like, like, you probably see my pictures on some of those textbooks for this shit. But that's how toxic I was. Um, but, and it's like, and I'm not, understand me, that I'm literally not saying this to be all like, yo, like, like, I'm just saying, like, that's how, when I sat back and looked at my situations, and looked at the life that I was creating, is like, yo, what else were you expecting from this? What else were you wanting from this? Because if you were wanting that, that's not how you were moving. You know what I mean? It's like, you weren't moving as if you wanted this. You were moving as if you didn't give a hell, like, give a fuck about this, or like, and it's like, or give a shit about it. Like, I don't. Sorry to be even cursing so much, but it's like, it's real. Like, I look back at some stuff and I'm just like, yo, wow, like, yeah. But I created that. I created that. So it's like, with me creating that, what else was I expecting from it besides getting the toxic bullshit that I got from it? So it's like, now, all right, cool. I'm not, and it's not saying like, another thing that I used to always think, like, here's the thing. I'd be like, yo, but I'm not, you know what I mean, the P word, I'm not, like, so it's like, And it's crazy because like right now I just had a thought back to like when I was a young boy, my godmom was saying something, but it's like it's wild that again boomerang things come right back around. But I'm gonna get into that and tell y'all and explain that too. But uh, one of the things that I'm just now thinking about is the fact that fuck it, I gotta tell y'all anyway because it's on my mind. But one thing my godmom used to say to me when I was always like, "I'm not no punk. Like I'm not no punk. I'm not letting nobody like I'm not letting nobody do nothing to me." And she's like, "Yo, you know, you're a punk because you worried about so much of what somebody else saying about you." I'm like, "Nah, like you bugging, like yeah." And it's like in reality, like, yo, she's right because it's like, why am I worried about the next person? Nothing is happening. Like